On today's Friday edition of the Buckeye Roast, we're stepping outside of Columbus to talk about the top 3 non-Ohio State tailgates we'd love to experience. Then it's time for upset alerts, pointing out which ranked teams should be on high alert this weekend. We'll also spotlight a sleeper game of the week that can sneak up on people and make our bold predictions and wrap things up with a round of over or unders heading into Saturday. I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q right here on Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for a special live edition of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy Q Sleep Ski. It looks like with those with those glasses on covering those eyes. Q, how you doing?
Oh, no, I'm good, man.
You're not rocking with Q Sleep Ski as your nickname?
That's ridiculous, man. Nothing wrong with my eyes. Oh, Jesus. No, I'm good, man. I bought the tickets for the game, so I will be at the ASU-TCU game at 6 p.m. later today in like 12 hours or 13 hours, so I'll be there.
Absolutely. We're here bright and early, though, Q. I have a stat of the day.
No 75 million. What was the stat of the day?
no Saudi Arab money stats. My stat of the day is 0. Q, can you guess the significance of that number?
No. What no, what's that number mean?
0. The number of hours of sleep me and you have both got before this show. Been absolutely swamped at work and still have all kinds of things to do for the channel. So make sure you smash that like button because your boys are running on fumes over here to make sure that we keep bringing you guys content here at Dead Air Sports. The likes are low. We got to get those likes up or Q's going to have to change his name from Q Sleep Ski to QP Ski to smash that like. It's coming back if we don't get these likes up. But Q, action-packed show to get to today. We're going to be talking some national tailgating stories here in a minute, and it's very fitting with you actually putting your feet to the ground and hitting the streets and going to a college football game this weekend. So let's get right into it.
All right, I'll do that. Play the song, man. Let's jump into it.
Q, we talked about it in the intro. I wanted to ask you, with you heading to an Arizona State tailgate, I wanted to ask you, what are the top 3 tailgates in the country that you would like to attend?
Oh, wow. I didn't know this was coming. Top 3 in the country. Florida State definitely has to be in there. I've heard great things about Florida State. I need 2 more. I'd probably say Ole Miss. I feel like that's a sleeper like SEC tailgate to go to. I feel like okay. Let me not get the show canceled early, but I feel like there would be a lot of sights to see at Ole Miss. That would be a fun tailgate to go to. And I need 1 more. I think I would do Penn State. If I couldn't do Ohio State, I think I would do Penn State. Penn State for either a whiteout or I don't know.
Traveling to Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, I can't imagine, especially the fact that you live in Arizona, that you would travel that far. That's an insane pick.
I gotta have a northern school, so it's got to be like a Penn State or a Wisconsin. Minnesota's too cold. Those. I mean, one of those 2 would sound like fire for like a big time game, like Alabama coming to Wisconsin. I know the tailgate was fire.
Yeah, I went a little bit different with my list. Of course, we've talked about it countless times on here. Like, if I wasn't a Buckeye, I would be a Mountaineer. I would be all in on degenerate activities in Morgantown, West Virginia. That is a place where they know how to party. So that is somewhere that I would absolutely go. Another one that I have on is Texas. I mean, Austin's a weird city. I feel like you can get all kinds of like hipster eats there. I'm sure you could find a good party around there. So I feel like Austin would be a good one. And then my last one, this is purely just being a fat ass and wanting to experience. I mean, is there any place that's going to have better food at a tailgate than LSU?
I mean, if you're not blacked out and able to actually eat, then yeah, I guess I would agree. Like most of the fans there. I mean, I will have beef with Texas. I feel like Texas is a hard school to actually sit at the tailgate and like keep your ass off 6th Street. Just saying, like actually being at the tailgate and not distracted by the other events or options to go around would be a little bit tough. But I do feel like it would be a fun tailgate if you can actually stay there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the best of both worlds with LSU. You get the party and you get the food. So I would definitely be excited about that one. I'm in like cruise control mode because I'm so used to us doing the show pre-recorded.
Non-live.
Yeah, not live. Got to get to the chat. A big shout out to our guy Doug, first one in the chat. You know the rules around here. First one in the chat always gets a shout out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Did I say that right? You did indeed. Good morning from our guy Charles Green. He said that he sent me ATG's highlights. I have not had a chance to watch those yet, but may have to throw a little sauce on those and mix those up this weekend and get those on the timeline because everybody knows he's already the number one prospect in the 2030 Ron 3 rankings. So keep an eye out for that. A good morning from our guy, Mike. Appreciate you tuning in this early morning. But Q, plenty to talk about. It is potentially a chaotic week and a chaotic season of college football. It seems like this year it's anybody's race for second place. We already know who the best team in the country is with the Ohio State Buckeyes, but there's a lot of parity going on around the sport. And we talked earlier in the week, I said, this is a week where we find out about a lot of different teams because while it's action packed with great matchups at the top of the lineup, it's also filled with great just schedule boosters. Like, can you beat a quality team? Can you beat the logo? A lot of logo games this week. So I think it has the potential for a lot of chaos in a year where we're not sure if any team other than Ohio State is good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some good, but I think Ohio State is budging on a great team right now with the way they're playing. If their offense can continue to do what they're doing, I mean, I think we're all confident in their defense. So it right now is a race for who is actually a contender and not a pretender. I mean, we talked about Miami, we talked about Georgia. I mean, I've talked about Tennessee a good amount here. I mean, we have plenty of teams that haven't been tested. We got Florida State out there. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of schools and a lot of big games this weekend. So we're really going to see who out here is pretending and who out here is actually contending this weekend.
Absolutely. And that's just the perfect segue into upset alerts. Because, I mean, I feel like we have a pretty strict standard around here of what we consider an upset. So we're not just calling anything an upset. And you look at this thumbnail and you may think, oh, the guys think Ohio State's on upset alert. I have a buzzer on the soundboard, and I couldn't even wait long enough to get that out. Absolutely not. We're about to go in there and handle business, but it's about to get spooky for the rest of college football. So we are going to jump right into it. USC, Illinois, first one that I have on upset alert. It seems like everybody is completely off the Illinois bandwagon, and it's like, oh, well, how could this be an upset? USC is not that highly ranked. Illinois was just ranked top 10 in the country. Well, everybody literally just the Andy dropping the toy. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Everyone is completely over this Illinois team right now. And I'm not ready to jump ship. I think this could be a competitive matchup. And I feel like we're going to learn a lot about these two teams' games because I think this is a big test for USC and Lincoln Riley, a team that I think is getting snubbed in the rankings, has an opportunity to show that they deserve to be ranked and that they're a quality team and put a quality win on their resume. But with Illinois here, they have an opportunity to bounce back. And, of course, you just know how the preseason rankings go. You know, if Illinois wins the game, well, then both of these teams are just bad because that's how things go when the SEC drives the narrative. But I think this is an opportunity for both of these teams to prove something. Illinois, that they still have some fight in them this season, and USC, that they're finally here ready to compete in the Big Ten, because you can't come here to the Big Ten. You talked about it the other day about USC thinking that was going to be one of the flagship programs that comes into the Big Ten and carrying the torch with Oregon. And it's like, where has USC been? You cannot come into the conference and be here for multiple years and still be losing to Big Ten West teams. Like, we just don't do that. Like, you just can't. Have to be better.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. This is a big weekend for USC. I think Illinois, and I think I said this some shows ago, they remind me of the old Wisconsin. Like, they're right now pretty solid, and we know they are. They're going to play good defense. Can they score enough points to win? Really is the question. I mean, Indiana came out and they really showed out. They said they're not scoring any well of close enough to win with that game. So Indiana may just be for real, but Illinois is a big test for them. Can they hold on to that spot? Can they hold on to their ranking? USC is climbing up now. They haven't really been tested, so we don't know what USC is. I think we have somewhat of confidence in Lincoln Riley that he's going to put an offense on the field. I think defense has been the question, and we got a little fooled with the game last year against LSU. We're like, oh, they're playing defense now. Well, they're really not. So we're going to see if they're able to do it this season. Illinois is not that test, but if they can get that win, a little more momentum, USC might be back in the spotlight of saying, hey, are they actually back? Because there's really no reason they shouldn't be.
Q, do you think this is a valid upset alert? USC, a 6.5-point favorite at Illinois. Are you off the Illinois bandwagon? Would you classify this as an upset if Illinois bounces back and jumps up and bites number 21 ranked? You see a very, very little disparity between the rankings, but again, it's bias. But I feel like with these two teams, I think this could still be classified as an upset alert if Illinois finds a way to bounce back, given everybody abandoning them already.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really classify it as an upset because we know they're going to play good defense, and the test on
hater.
it's not an upset for me because I think Illinois is a good team. I think the team in here, USC, is the one we really don't know about. So, like, while we could be like, oh, USC got confidence in them, I'm like, what have they done yet? We don't know. They've just looked good while beating me, you, Mike, Cam, and some other kids on the playground. So Illinois is a real team. I think we're confident in that, and I think we got to add a little more lore so they don't get lost in the shuffle. You know, when you go to Illinois and play, that wind sure blows, and then the football might just go to the opponent, so you never know what will happen there. But USC is a big test, so I wouldn't say it's an upset. I would say these two teams are kind of – I feel like they're on two different trains, like passing each other, and which one is going to go north and it still stay relevant, and which one is going to go south, and we kind of get buried in the shuffle. So I wouldn't say it's an upset, but I think USC needs this more than Illinois does.
Q, are you even going to be able to keep your eyes open for this Arizona State TCU game while you're getting blackout drunk while your real team is actually playing before that, with Florida State playing this weekend and on Friday night in what I think is a potential trap game, a look-ahead game with Miami on the schedule the following week? They head to Virginia as a 6.5-point favorite over an unranked team. Q, this smells like trap game.
No, first of all, I don't just get blackout drunk on a Friday. I drink responsibly, as you should do at home, kids. Second of all, if I wake up in time, because Ron has me here at 5 a.m. Pacific time, I will be watching Florida State get another dub against Virginia. I think the question is, we're all waiting to feel like one of these ACC teams is going to slip up. I don't believe it will be Florida State. Got my confidence in Mike Norvell, and I'm not hopping off the ship. I think they'll take care of business in Virginia. Could be a trap game, possibly, but these are one of those games you just got to figure out a way to win and get up out of there. So I will watch that and then parlay my way into Tempe and watch ASU take care of business because I'm taking them against TCU.
I mean, you said parlay there. I mean, you feeling froggy enough to put some money on this? Like, how good we feeling about this? Is it that much not of a trap game that, like, you're going to be – because, I mean, this is a good game for you to bet on because this is the type of game that, like, oh, cool, I'm putting $30 on this game, and if this shit hits at 11:30, we're doing shots. Like that seems like a perfect like type of setup. If you're already out, you smack on the bet early, you're clearly drinking your winnings, no?
I need to see the odds. If the odds ain't good, I might sit around that spicy chip that Pat ate the other day. Have him eat it for talking stuff. No, I mean I'm feeling good about Florida State right now. I think they take care of business. While I do think Virginia is a tricky team at time, I think Florida State take care of business and keeps rolling that momentum. And I think that true test is going to be that Miami game. That's one we're all waiting for.
Q, this next one, for loyalists of this program, they're going to be like, Ron's capping because we know how he feels about this program. But I have a game on here, Tennessee at Mississippi State. And I've talked about how unserious of a team Mississippi State is and how people can't buy into this bullshit every year. But hear me out. The SEC is a lesser than conference than the Big Ten. They just don't have elite teams up and down. And I feel like Tennessee is more, one of these middling teams like Mississippi State, and they could potentially get clipped here. I say all this because there's probably one random Tennessee fan in the chat that's going to end up clipping this if Tennessee goes out there and smacks Mississippi State. But I feel like it's just close enough of a game, and Mississippi State is just fraudulent enough and has been hyped enough this year that we could classify this as an upset if Mississippi State finds a way to beat Tennessee this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it would be upsetting. Mississippi State obviously knocked off the team that I'm going to see today play live in person in Arizona State. So they are not completely fraudulent or anything, or should be underestimated. I mean, Tennessee right now, especially coming off that Georgia game when I watched them, when I said they definitely should have won that game. I think they're a really good team. And I think they should be in the thick of this SEC race as long as they continue to play at a high level. But what separates the good teams from the great teams? Consistency. Can Tennessee week in, week out be able to do that? That has been the question for them. And it's a weird thing seeing them play at Mississippi State. I think they take care of business, but this could be one of those games where it's like, coming off the lull, Mississippi State's really not that good. We should beat them. Third quarter, we're in a game because, SEC teams find a way to be in a game in the third quarter against teams they should be destroying and taking care of business in.
Yeah, this definitely again, action-packed slate. Like, this is going to be one of those. I hate the Saturdays where, everybody knows how my Saturdays go with having to do Ohio State Bleacher Report post-game. I'm constantly editing throughout the day, preparing, writing notes, trying to write down everything that I am able to see when my face isn't in the phone, creating graphics for the post-game show. So, I don't get to flip the channel, and there's always that what the hell is going on moment where the hat comes off after the end of the Bleacher Report post game, and it's like, what's happening in college football? And you see these games, and it's always like the scramble to the TV to find that random game that decided to pop off and decide to be closer than it should be. And I think this one falls into the category of I'd be running to the TV if this one is still close in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I will too. I don't have the utmost confidence in Tennessee just going in and just blowing them out and taking care of business. I think it could get sticky there, but I do have confidence they will get the win and make it out of Mississippi unscathed. We got quite the parlay.
Yeah, that is quite the parlay. Those are my favorite, to quit your job parlays. The last one that I have on this list for potential upsets is, I don't even know how much people would consider this one an upset, but I feel like given the historical context, the stakes around this Georgia-Alabama game, I feel like aren't getting talked about enough. We've heard all of this Ryan Day has a Michigan problem. Ryan Day has a Michigan problem. I guess 2 national championships is what it takes to make it go away. Or, as you said the other day, they're not a real rival.
Yeah.
How loud does the noise get around? I mean, obviously Kirby's not going anywhere, but what level of frustration is there going to be in Athens if they seem to confirm this Alabama problem?
About a week's worth. I mean, it's hard to say in current college football, and this is a little bit of the negativity of conference expansion. Games just don't mean as much as they used to, especially when especially when Georgia and Bama could be right back in the SEC championship playing against each other. It makes it a little hard, I will say.
But here, let me push back against that.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't you think that didn't it feel like Texas A&M Notre Dame was like a playoff game in week 3 given the start of the season? We talked so much about the beginning of the year that, hey, the regular season is losing its excitement. Bro, I'm giddy like tomorrow's Christmas about the amount of college football that we have going on tomorrow. I think this regular season has been spectacular and has not lacked stakes in any week. I mean, there have been games with consequence almost every week, and we're only 4 weeks in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that, but also Notre Dame has no way back. Like there's no conference championship for them to bail themselves out on against Texas A&M, and then Texas A&M, if they lost to them, it wouldn't have affected their SEC race. So, I think there are stakes here. I think Kirby definitely the noise is out there saying, hey, you can't beat Bama even after Saban left. I mean, you've really only still done it once. So I do believe that is just so much like Georgia doesn't have SEC loss yet. If they get one, it's not really going to affect them. Until they get 2, people are not going to get worried. Also, Alabama, you look on the other side, that loss to Florida State definitely did some damage, but I mean, it doesn't affect their race to get to Atlanta. There we go. So, yeah, I think it'll be okay if either of them loses. I think it means a little more for Kirby because he's trying to get that monkey off his back. So I will say that I think Kirby and Georgia gets it done, but I would be worried if I was him. If you don't, will you ever beat Bama?
Yeah, I mean, he did it once. I guess he could do it again. The one thing, I mean, I guess a good shout by you as far as the ability to stay in it in contention, even if they lose this game, because Georgia not as difficult of a schedule as Alabama. You look at Alabama, the rest of their schedule, it looks like murderer's row, but that Georgia schedule seems significantly more manageable given the lack of it seems like everybody in the SEC is ranked, but somehow Georgia doesn't play a ranked team every week. I don't know how that works, but it just fell in their favor, apparently. You know, it's just a lot of funny business around this SEC scheduling that doesn't get talked about enough because everybody's just trying to continue to sneak as many SEC teams into that playoff as possible. Q, do you have a sleeper game of the week? If you don't, that's fine, because I have one that I would like to interest you in.
Okay, go for it. Tell me.
I don't know how much it is a sleeper. I guess it is a sleeper because we're, 23 minutes in. We've only talked national, and this game has only been mentioned once in the chat, and I'm going to go find it and shout that person out. Q, I'm hype about this Iowa-Indiana game.
We have talked about this game this week.
Here's my thing. I don't trust their offense enough to upset anybody, and Kurt Cignetti, as much as I think he has a lot of bozo in him, I think he is the superior coach in this situation. The fact that Iowa has a potential chance in a shootout, given their offensive uptick that we've seen recently, it'll be interesting to see what Iowa looks like if they ever decide to get a quarterback out of the transfer portal. But this game has the potential to get interesting. Iowa always comes out and plays tough defense. Indiana perpetually on fraud alert. Is this an opportunity for Indiana to show that this offense is somewhat legit, or are you like, do it against one of the big 2, big 3 in the conference before I'm buying any stock in Indiana, given their performance in the college football playoff last year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Iowa's defense, and just looking at their record and schedule, is what it usually is. When you say like the bottom half of the Big Ten, they just shut them down. I mean, Rutgers was able to score against them. So I don't think that defense is what it usually is, but their offense is also a little bit better, or at least looked a little bit better against Rutgers than we will usually see.
Hey, Callie Manis is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Put some respect on the Scarlet Knights.
I will say this is a test for Indiana. I mean, Iowa is always a game where it does get a little weird. I love just throwing it out there and adding to this Big Ten lore. It is a little bit tough to play Iowa and then just come out and look as shining as they did last week against Illinois. So I will say this is a test for them. Can they be consistent? Like, again, they're not gonna. This is a game. This is like a lose-lose game for them. They're not gonna gain any points if they go out and put 35-10 on Iowa, but they can lose points if it gets close and a little weird. And they're like, okay, like, yeah, you beat Illinois, but that was a fluke because the game was close against Iowa. So I think this is a little lose-lose situation, but I think if they take care of business, then we're going to feel the same way about them as we did last week.
It seems that Iowa is having success stopping the run, but I don't know how much that is going to help when Fernando Mendoza is out there throwing 5 touchdowns. It's like you're bringing in. I don't want to
stop the run, coach. They gave up 40.
You know the saying, I don't want to get us in trouble for talking about weapons, but yeah, don't bring the wrong instrument to a fight. Q, what else do we got today? Bold predictions. It's Friday, man. Not much sleep, but we got plenty to talk about. And on Fridays, we always have our bold predictions. And, you know, people that watch this show on a regular basis know who's better at these bold predictions. I don't want to pat myself on the back here.
A great better forgets his losses.
Yeah, I didn't stretch. Q, do you have bold predictions prepared? Because I have about 5. So do you need time to prepare some of yours?
Nah, I don't need time.
All right, and I'm telling you right now, you're not stealing or piggybacking on none of mine. I worked hard on these.
I don't even know what yours are.
Exactly. So if you like them, stay away.
I didn't look in the section to see what you put yet. So I currently have my own.
So my first bold prediction, and look, here's the thing. It's not bold for Ron, but it is bold in general. Like, is it not the least surprising thing that my first bold take is a Brandon Inniss touchdown? Like, all of the talk that Brandon Inniss is there. I feel like the guy at the beginning of the Love Sosa intro. Everybody in the barbershop talking about Brandon Inniss ain't this, Brandon Inniss ain't that.
Eat that. One more person.
If I catch another motherfucker talking sweet about Brandon Inniss, I'm beating their ass. Like, that's where I'm at right now, and I'm ready to put my money where my mouth is. I got Brandon Inniss touchdown as my first bold prediction for this Saturday.
Fair enough. I like it, but I will raise you a Max Klare 2-touchdown game against Washington. There we go. So if Brandon Inniss might lose his, but Max is going to get both of his.
Q apparently smoking crack in honor of the game in Seattle this morning.
I think that's a solid bold prediction. Max Klare has a little coming out party last week against Ohio, but you know he's a Big Ten merchant. He's going to go out and get 2 on Saturday. And Julian saying he's on the road. It gets a little loud. It gets a little Pacific in Washington. You got to go to your comfort zone. You got to go to your tight end, man. He might have to get a little Pacific and get the ball to Max Klare.
So, I'm taking applications for a new co-host. This guy in the glasses stinks. Smash that like back because I hate this guy.
He might specifically get the ball to Max Klare.
All right, after that awful joke, I think I'm not going to end the show there. Still got some more bold takes to get to. Q, another one. A lot has been made about this environment. It's going to be loud. Oh, Julian Sayin's first start on the road. Do you remember this same talk about, it's no one's ever beaten a number 1 team as their first time starting? He's the streak slayer, Q. I have 0 turnovers from Julian Sayin this weekend.
Yeah, I like it. That would be first road game. That would be an excellent sign if he makes it out of there with no turnovers. We talked about it. Things might get a little shaky for him, which I think would be a good thing for this Ohio State team in the long run if he's able to have some adversity and get over it, because I don't think anybody in this chat feels like Washington is a true threat to win the game. But if he walks out with no turnovers, that's even more positive. I say that's a good one, and I like that bold prediction. Now, I will say I will raise you Kenyatta Jackson coming out party. 1 sack, 1 forced fumble on Saturday.
Oh, see, you're kind of stealing mine. I guess I have a less bold take because I have 1 forced fumble by the defense. I did not assign it to a particular player. Is that not bold enough?
I mean, I went a little bolder, but I do like the 1 forced fumble. I will roll with that on Saturday. I will allow it.
Oh, wow. A very generous cue on a Friday morning. Your next one.
My next one. Now we're really getting bold. Devin Sanchez's role has increased in this defense. I am going a first career interception by Devin Sanchez because he will get tested if he has playing time.
I feel like that's going to be a fun watch every week to keep an eye out for that one. Hopefully, we put an end to that early and he gets one early here soon. But I definitely think that is going to be a fun side watch going forward. And I definitely will accept that as an extremely bold take. I have one that I think might even be, no, probably not as bold. I think we see Caleb Downs make his first appearance as a punt returner this week.
I would like it. Can we got one at home? Can we get a return on the road? I would love to see that.
You would like to see it. I would love to see a kick return so we could break that disgusting streak. But hey, we got rid of the punt return one last year. A lot has been made about the punt return, the rotation. The whole argument of putting Jeremiah Smith back there is he's the best wide receiver in the country. He's going to catch it. He went out there and dropped it. Get him from back there, Q. I'm done. I've had enough. I don't want to see it anymore. Get that shit off my screen. Every time I see him trot out there for a punt return, I'm like, who let Parker Fleming back in the building?
I see. You drive a hard bargain, Mr. James. Can't drop one on your watch as special teams coordinator / events coordinator.
Special teams events coordinator.
Special entertainment coordinator at the Woody. I got one for you that you're going to like. Yeah, you'll like this one. Now, this is bold. Under 1.5 offensive penalties on Saturday.
You're looking at the note. You're stealing.
I'm not looking at the note. I haven't seen your note.
You're stealing my picks. See, and that's why you can't share and collaborate and have a pre-production meeting, because you have this drunk that doesn't go to sleep, doesn't do his homework, and just shows up and steals your shit. Looking at the note right here, because Q's already stealing my takes because he's so unoriginal. I'll up it. You're talking about 1.5 penalties. I got 0 penalties for Tegra Shabula. How about that? Boldest take of them all.
I didn't even see that. I didn't see
I bet. Oh, yeah. Couldn't see through your 2020 Buckeyes, whatever the line is. Get out of here. Stealing my fucking takes.
I didn't even see that on there.
Lazy ass co-host. I'm taking applications right now. You post your LinkedIn in our community here on YouTube, because I'm looking for a new co-host. This guy stinks.
Fridays at 5 a.m. are definitely open. Better or worse. Did not see that, but mine also includes the whole office. That's holding, false starts, delay of games. I think it's going to be a clean game for Ohio State this Saturday. And I think Julian Sayin is going to challenge himself to make sure we are not penalty ridden and costing ourselves the game.
I hope the Buckeyes are able to play a clean game. And again, Sonny Styles mentioned in his interview, this is a game for the Buckeyes to learn a lot about themselves. And I think that's just another facet of the game where they're going to learn about the level of discipline that this team has. Q, it's Friday, so we have over-unders. We have bold takes, which is like over-unders kind of ish. And then we go into some more general, just more feel of the game type of over-unders and more of a narrative check-in for us. So, starting with our favorite narrative around here, Bo Jackson, over-under 69.5 rushing yards.
I'll take the over. I think he's going to do fine on the ground today. So I will take the over. I'd say it's probably an 80, 90-ish type game. I don't think he'll quite hit the 100, but I think he'll have one explosive run, and I think he'll nickel and dime his way up to 80 or 90 yards.
I see a lot of over in the chat, guys. Let us know how many carries you think he's going to get this weekend. And Q,
cool. That means I will not be wrong on my own. So if we go back to these over
yeah.
unders, I want all these names on this paper sheet.
Yeah, Q. So everybody's going with the over. How many carries do you think it takes to get you guys to that over? You got the whole chat riding with you on this one.
I'd say 13, 14.
Okay,
14 carries, 90 yards. I can live with that.
Okay, 14 carries, 90 yards. If he doesn't do that, wherever Q's at on Saturday, he's getting a phone call from me just to remind him that he was wrong.
What? I can't. I made that joke at work and they didn't get it. Like the other girl was
probably because your internet be doing that.
The other girl was like, my internet was messing up. They're like, well, we'll skip to you and come back. And I'm like, I can't. They're like, what? And I'm like, come on, man. Keep up with
They're probably like this guy again. Like, oh brother with his internet.
You're fired.
Buckeye turnovers Buckeyes turnover Q. I have it at 0.5. I think the Buckeyes, I'm going with under. I think the Buckeyes play a clean bill and are able to protect the ball here. Do you think the Buckeyes turn the ball over on offense at all? Or special teams, I
can see one. I feel like we're due for one.
Here you go. Here it is. Q saying we're gonna lose.
Yeah, if I went under on penalties, if we're just committing one penalty, then you got to give something. It's a balance of even. So I can see a turnover. I don't think Julian Sand's going to throw a pick. I could probably see like a fumble or something. I can see one.
Okay, I'm going under because I don't hate this team. So I digress. I have Jeremiah Smith touchdowns set at 1.5. You heard the quotes of him, doing the Birdman hand rub, talking about people potentially playing man-to-man against him. Is this a breakout game? Do we see an SFE explosion this weekend?
I will go under. I've already given Max Klare 2, so I think Jeremiah gets 1, and there probably is another 1 out there somewhere. So I will go under, but I think he's going to have a good game. I would probably go 100 yards in the TD.
I mean, do we want to skip right to game predictions now and let the chat know that you're picking Washington? What is going on here?
Hit the over.
Man, okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I think JJ will have a good game. But we're talking Brandon Inniss, we're talking Max Klare, Cardinal Tate's out there somewhere. Bo Jackson, I think it's going to be a spread out offensive power game from Ohio State. I don't think it's just going to be JJ going absolutely nuts.
Okay. I wanted to pivot to the defensive side of the ball. You already projected Kenyatta Jackson to have one strip sack, I would assume, this game. I have the sack total for the defensive line set at 2.5. Around here, like Arvell Reese, like death and taxes and a tackle for loss from Arvell Reese. There's no point of ever including the linebackers in the tackle for loss or sack stats here. It's always D-line exclusive. Q, are the edges or the D tackles able to come up with 2.5 sacks this game?
Yeah, I get sold on the over there. I think Damon Williams, athletic quarterback, but a problem with athletic quarterbacks is they try to run their way out of everything, and unfortunately that leads to sacks. So I can see, again, I gave Kenyatta Jackson 1. I'll give Caden Curry 1, and I'll give Keenan McDonald 1 as well. So we'll go 3.
Keenan or Caden?
Caden McDonald, not Keenan. Keenan McDonald will have a pick six. So
introducing Ohio State's new defensive tackles, Keenan and Kel.
So Keenan McDonald will have one as well. I'll go 3 sacks on Saturday for Ohio State.
3 sacks on Saturday for Ohio State's defensive line, according to Q. I'm going with the under there. I wanted to pivot to, this is like, I feel like the most intriguing position on the Ohio State roster right now, and it is the tight end position, because you have no idea what you're going to get from this room. Are you going to get one playing like a superstar? Are they all going to disappear? Are all 3 of them going to show up and be looking like, hey, I want to get drafted? You don't know. I think this weekend we talked about a lot of teams learning things about each other from their matchups. Sonny Styles talked about learning a lot about themselves. I think we're going to learn a lot about this Ohio State offensive identity, because I think this game is going to tell us a lot. They had a very vanilla game plan in that Texas matchup, and they go into this Washington matchup, a big-time conference game with lots of expectations coming into this game. I think you see a more diverse offense than you saw against Texas, and they really open things up. And once they do that, what does that look like? Do you still see 3+ tight ends catching the ball? Do you still see 3 running backs carrying it for almost double-digit carries? Do we see a more buttoned-up rotation from the running backs and a more clearer hierarchy of this running back room and depth chart? And then also, what does this tight end room look like? Are we about to watch a year where 3 tight ends get busy on the defense every week and we're asking, where is the slot position? Or do you see more 11 personnel this week? And is it an opportunity for Brandon Inniss to make his mark on the Big Ten this week?
I think running back will definitely be a little more buttoned up. I think they're going to kind of hone in on 2 guys and let them get the bulk of the carries. Tight ends it's so hard to predict, because you feel like guys just have so many roles. Like they bring Bennett Christian in all the time to block, and then he'll get a route. So I think he'll definitely play. I mean, I think you're probably going to get 4 tight ends playing consistently throughout Big Ten play. I mean, it's hard to keep Julian Thurman off the field, and we obviously know Max Klare and Wilkas Merrick. So, I mean, I don't think the tight end depth is changing. Now, how much those guys get per game as far as snaps and passes, that may fluctuate. Again, I want to get Brandon Inniss involved in the game, and that's just personally. Hopefully, Heartline will do that. I mean, we're not going to get no wide receiver rotation. So that's the least I can ask for, is you get a 3rd wide receiver somewhat involved. But I think 4 guys consistently at the tight end room are going to play, if not 5, but are also fullback who's also a tight end.
Only Ohio State, like, oh, you think 4 tight ends is a lot? I'll raise you to 5.
Watch
And then my last over-under is Brandon Inniss over under 20.5 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I think Inniss needs it for his confidence moving forward, and it's not him lacking on confidence. It's just a confidence that the offense is going to give you the ability and opportunity to make plays. So I think Brandon Inniss, I could shoot for a 50-yard game from Mr. Inniss. I think they're going to get him involved. I think Hardline's going to be like, all right, you've done what I've asked you to do. Let me throw you a bone and make sure you know it's worth it. So definitely, I'm going to go 50-yard game by Inniss. I don't know if that goes to a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, or whatever it may be, but I think people on Twitter will know Brandon Inniss played in the game, and we're not going to sit here with another game like, dang, did he play? Did he get any targets? Because I don't think that happens in back-to-back weeks.
Speaking of Twitter, there's 150 people watching live on Twitter. Make sure you like that stream and you go ahead and retweet it. I get a notification right in StreamYard when you guys repost a video. I see 150 people are currently watching and no notifications of people reposting it. Just tell us you hate us in the comments. It's also much easier. Yeah, there's 42 people watching on YouTube, so make sure you smash that like button. Tell a friend if you like what you see around here. I have a comment pinned here, questions in the chat. So We get a couple of these. Got to get to work here in 10 minutes. So we got 5 minutes to take some questions. So if you have questions for us, drop them in the chat. Big shout out to our guy, Kasai. Clearly his Twitter is working and we aren't talking to a bunch of ghosts out there. Shout out to y'all. First question, Q. What will Boston numbers be against Iggy?
That's a good question. I mean, I feel like Igbenogson has played really well this season. I think we forgot about how much he will hold in the past couple of years. So, I mean, I think Boston's a really good receiver. But I wouldn't say nothing crazy. I mean, if he went for 50 yards, are we upset? Not really. If he went 50, 60, I think we're okay with that. And again, I think this defense is good enough that they're not going to let anybody get exposed. Unlike like the Ravens. Hey, buddy, guard your man or you're going to be on national TV. Ohio State finds a way to help people out. So I would say if he was 60, 65 yards, I think we're all feeling comfortable. I would say right around there. I can see a touchdown in there somewhere. I wouldn't be mad at it. But as long as he doesn't go crazy, I'm cool. What about you?
I've been pounding the table all week saying that this is not a trap game. And I don't want to get clipped if the Buckeyes were to do the unthinkable. But I feel like we prefaced a situation just like this about what it takes to be a trap game for Ohio State and what is the one thing in that recipe that is necessary to upset a team this talented. And it always requires at least what, Q? One guy. We did an entire episode on the ghost of Rondell Moore and how he runs through our nightmares still to this day. And I feel like this is the type of game that has that, and like this is that puncher's chance type of potential. You know what I mean? Like where this team is just talented enough that, hey, you still have to go out there and fight them. They could clip you and knock you out. And Boston is that type of talent that he could flip a game upside down. They do have the type of dynamic athlete at the quarterback position where you're watching a game like, we're Ohio State. How the fuck can't we tackle him? It has those elements to this game. And that is the only credence I will lend to this potentially being a trap game, because it does contain the number one element to what we classify as it, because our standards for a trap game for Ohio State are different, because you know what it really takes to beat the Buckeyes. And it just feels like outside of that one potential thing right there, and people will tell you this many times before Ryan Day won a national championship, Ryan Day ain't Urban Meyer. For the good or the bad. And for the good, we don't go out here and lose games like this. That's where I'm at with this. So while I do think the potential exists, I'm not going.
Yeah, I mean, the one constant is somebody has to absolutely go crazy and have a career day. My dad, who's also a 1%er and a Duke fan, says that happens to Duke every time in the tournament. Somebody just has the game of their lives, and that's how they get beat. I prefer to say they're playing no defense and get cooked, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean,
bro? It's not even basketball season, and we're catching strays. Like,
shout out to Lehigh. No, it is.
It's better than Mercer, man. When that motherfucker did the nay, I wanted to throw my phone through the TV.
Oh man, it happens to the best of us. Trust me. But under Ryan Day, it has not happened to him. So again, I don't think Matty P is gonna let a wide receiver just go absolutely nuts and go for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns and watch Ohio State lose. I think he's too good of a coordinator for that. And that 2018 defense was legendarily bad. So I don't think that's gonna happen. Again, mobile quarterback is going to give us a test. I am looking forward to it. I want to see how the edges. I want to see how Arvell Reese and the squad handles that. But whether it's Boston or Williams, I don't think they have the capacity to go crazy enough, especially with all the injuries we talked about, to upset this team. Can somebody have a good game? Sure. Legendary game? I doubt it.
Q, we did a lot of yapping on that question. We got a bunch of questions to get to here, and I got to get to work in 6 minutes. So we are about to speed run these questions. The first one, our guy Charles Green, we appreciate you tuning in. And before we get to that, appreciate everybody tuning in here, everybody hanging out in the live chat. It feels good to be here live in the morning and get to talk to you guys. We miss you. We don't get to talk to you as much when we're recording at 3 in the morning. Maybe we'll start doing some members live for you guys. If anyone's a night owl and wants to see us record our nonsense in the middle of the night, maybe that will be an opportunity. Chris Drew members live streams do occur weekly around here. Q and I are working on a recruiting project that will be debuting here soon. Between him moving and me drowning at work, it just hasn't materialized yet, but it's gonna happen. Q, we got questions. Sonny gets one defensive touchdown. Who gets the other? You know I am a fan of a big man touchdown around here. I'm going with Will Smith Jr.
Okay, wow, that would be quite a day. I think I like that. That's a good shout right there. I would say if somebody gets a touchdown other than Sonny Styles, I would. Dang, if Sonny gets one, I gotta go DB. I'm gonna go Jalen McClain. I feel like he's played well enough. He's due for an interception, so I will go him, and if not him, Jermaine Matthews.
Okay. Q perpetually not answering the question and picking everybody. Next question. Cool Werbage. Out of Sonny, Arvell, and Caleb, which one would you want to spy the QB and why? Arvell, because once you get tackled by Arvell, you don't want to get tackled again. What's Marshawn Lynch say? Run through a motherfucking face? I think that's Arvell Reese.
Yeah, I mean, Arvell's really good at it. Now again, I don't think he can run down just any quarterback in the country, but he's good enough to get a guy to make him push the edge where he can get some help. So I like Arvell in that role, and he's done a great job so far. Why switch it up?
The same question from our guy Bino. Who do y'all think will spy Williams, Arvell or Caleb? Combo both, or did I just pick the same? No, literally asked the same question. Okay,
combo both. Run man on all edges. 1-on-1, we got two spies.
MK, how well do you guys think Reese and Styles do spying Williams? Everybody has the same question this morning. I mean, I think they have the foot speed to do it, and you hope when they do eventually make contact with them that they take them down to the ground with violence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have the foot speed to just run him down wherever he goes. He is a super athletic quarterback, but I think containing him is the important part, and let your DBs cover, let the edges get to him, and you know what I'm saying, make him beat you. Make him beat you with his arm. I think that's the point. I mean, we talked about Boston. I think he'll have a solid game, but again, don't let him just run around and cause you trouble all day. Make him beat you passing the football.
Someone said, how did Wingo do flipping the game? Boston's supposed to be better than Wingo. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Rondell Moore was the best player that Ohio State played that entire season, but somehow he had the most spectacular performance, and it just takes that one day for someone to put on a cape and ruin the Buckeyes Saturday. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. We're more than capable of stopping this guy, but I think he does have that base level of talent to potentially be a game breaker.
Yeah, I mean, I think Wingo is a better guy with the ball in his hands. I don't think he's somebody who's going to route you up and make you look silly out there, as we've seen in 4K. So I think Boston is a better receiver than Wingo is, and Wingo's just a little more explosive with the ball in his hands.
Boston going for 100 plus? No, but if Washington does win this game, I guarantee he does. I don't think he will in this game, but if Washington finds a way to win, I would imagine that is one of the things that you could confirm in the box score. I think he would have himself a game. Kasai with an arbitrary prediction here. Jermaine with the pick 6. A score prediction from our guy, Mr. Bucknuts. And one last comment. I just got PTSD from dual threat quarterbacks. Man, do I understand, especially, it don't even have to be dual threat quarterbacks. It's speed on the field scares us, given what we used to have at linebacker. But hopefully those days are behind us. Q, no members added today, so I have to go back to work in a minute. So let the people know where they can find you.
I think Ron had to go back to work anyway. But if you want to gift the membership, that is good. I am City Boy Quentin on Twitter, Flyknight Johnson on Instagram. Make sure you hit that like video. Yes, we are live, and every Friday we will be live. So don't be surprised next week, because Friday we're going to be live again. So every Friday we are live. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure people who don't know we are live, you let them know we are here Monday through Friday at Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like that video, sub, all that good stuff. Ron, where can they find you at?
You can find us right here on Dead Air Sports Monday through Friday for the Buckeye Roast, here with my guy Q, talking all things Buckeyes and national college football. You can catch us in the Bleacher Report app for an instant reaction with me and Chris Drew immediately after the game on Saturdays in the Ohio State team stream. And you can catch me on Twitter at 2Ts. It's 2_TEES. I'm just like in a bit of a fog because I'm looking at the clock and your boy has to go to work. You guys know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. See, they're already on it in the chat. They definitely know how it ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
IO.
Example, when things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can. You fight. That's our culture.
I promised you we had a plan. Remember that we talked about a plan? The plan was infallible. Part of that infallible plan is getting a team prepared, ready to go, so when we start practice, our coaches know what we got. And there's not one person in America I trusted more than Coach Mick and that staff. Think about this. 130 teams either today, they report, or they've already reported. 130. 16 weeks from now, there's going to be one champion. One champion in our conference, one champion on the side of our conference. And in the country, one team's going to do this. Not 36, not 48, not 44, one. That tells you how hard it is to be a champion. To do right all the time. To know your assignments. To have 11 guys play hard on every snap. That's hard. That's why there's one. I want a hungry team. I want a hungry team. I want a team that can't wait to get out there. Where there's a bunch of players that maybe, whenever you have a new coaching staff, you haven't played much, maybe you're trying to make a name for yourself, you're a hungry football player. I want a hungry team. And last one, most importantly, I've got to coach a few of them. I want an angry team. I want a pissed off football team. I want a team that has a little chip on their shoulder. Maybe something's been taken from you. Maybe something hasn't. Maybe something's been taken from you. Are you a team that's going to go get it? You're the Ohio State Buckeyes. You're an angry football team. You got an angry staff. You got a bunch of guys that are getting ready to start a journey. We're starting that journey tomorrow at 5 a.m. You're a hungry football team, and I'm proud to be your coach. There's a plan in place, right?